Hi guys, what's up? It's Joel Pitt here, back with another video, and in this video it'll be for Love Island All Stars 2026 Series 3 Episode 34. I'll leave a link down below to Episode 33. Of course, there's going to be spoilers. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So Lucinda and Sean told everyone else, that they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Leanne and Scott spoke about exclusive and closed off, like does it mean the same thing? And then Scott was basically explaining it, and then Leanne got a bit mad or something. They gave the goss to Whitney and Yaman, and basically about what happened, and then Whitney and Yaman were talking about their date. And I think that after a while they were all just screaming and then trying to scream louder than others. Tommy and Jessie kissed in bed. Tommy was on Jessie. Then Helena was on Carrington. They kissed. Zach and Millie kissed. Belle and Harrison kissed. Kieran and Sammy kissed. Lucinda and Sean kissed. Scott and Leanne kissed. And then Whitney was on Yaman and they kissed. So pretty much everyone was kissing in bed, really. Helen and Carrington spoke. Leanne was speaking about Scott to Millie and Lucinda, and then Scott spoke to Harrison, I think, about a whole Leanne situation. Then there was a text about the public voting for the favourite couple, and straight away they said the most votes was Lucinda and Sean. So they've normally been at the bottom and now they're at the top, so wow. And then the least votes, the couple with the least votes, and dumped straight away Helena and Carrington. Then Maya spoke to Helena and Carrington outside. Sean and Lucinda spoke of being top and of course of dumping. Whitney and Scott spoke. Whitney said her and Yaman are exclusive, whether he likes it or not, even though they haven't had that chat. Sean and Harrison were speaking. Tommy was there too, and then I think Lucinda. Scott was saying like Sean rushed it a bit, with the whole boyfriend and girlfriend. Millie and Leanne spoke. Yaman, Whitney and Scott spoke, and then Scott pulled Leanne. First off, before I think they make things official, Scott wants Leanne to meet his mum, then of course go to Wales, and then he's going to go to London. Belle and Harrison spoke. She said she doesn't like men that think they can keep her on her toes. And then Belle said, you got to wait for a kiss until tonight because he's going to smudge the lip combo. Sammy and Kieran walked in on Scott and Leanne kissing in the dressing room. Jessie and Tommy are now in the main bedroom. They're not sleeping downstairs. Zach was kissing Millie's cheek in bed. Kieran and Sammy kissed. Lucinda and Sean kissed. Whitney and Yaman kissed. Whitney was on Yaman. Harrison and Belle kissed, and then Leanne was on Scott, and they were kissing. Then at the end of the episode, it says you can have your say. The Islanders want your opinions. And the first time, they're giving us the chance to ask each couple one question. And so they said head over to the Love Island Instagram stories to have your votes. On the Love Island app, every kiss from week 3, including Snog, Marry, Pie. So there's a video on YouTube for that. Another day, another photo dump. Do you have a type? 31% said just go off personality, to be honest. 29% said got a type but don't always stick to it. 24% said my type is anyone who can make me laugh. 9% said yes, and I don't date outside of it. And then 7% said my type is a walking red flag. Charge it to the best first date as a video. Whitney opens up about her past Love Island experience. Leanne asking the questions all us girlies want answers for. Trying to put a label on a relationship. There's a video on that. Not the lost property bin. Helena and Carrington talking. I feel like I was kind of just floating before you came in here. I was lost. I was in the lost property bin. Do you self-sabotage in dating? 37% said I put my walls up for sure. Or I put up walls for sure. 29% said I don't sabotage but have to take things at a slow pace. 20% said no, I approach dating with an open heart. And then 14% said when I catch feels, I run away. Your partner tells you they love you for the first Your partner tells you they love you for the first time. 76% said I'd only say it back once I really mean it. 13% said it would take me ages to build up to saying that, and 11% said I'd say it back just to spare the awkwardness. Is Lucinda ready to tell Sean that she loves him? The reason Lucinda didn't say I love you back, there's a video on that. Helena and Carrington have been dumped. From beating the ick to winning a game of knowing me, knowing you. It might be the end of their time in the villa, but Helena and Carrington have found each other and are leaving to get together with a strong connection. What did Helena say to Belle in the dressing room? There's no one I'd rather be in a triangle with. Helena doesn't hold back what she thinks of Jessie as a video. Helena spills her thoughts on Jessie's intentions. What was Lucinda's reaction to her and Sean being voted the favourite couple? What the hell, she said. Do you need your partner to meet your fam before making it official? 37% said my fam are happy as long as I am happy. So no. 31% said ideally yes, but not the end of the world. 26% said nah, no one else's opinions matter. Or 6% said if my fam don't like you, we're over. Scott and Leanne are exclusive, but what does that mean? Looks like Millie's hung up her hiking boots. I'm going to Wales, Leanne said. You need some hiking boots, said Jessie. And then Millie said you can have mine. Impeccable lip combo. And then there's the symbol kissing your man. There's a video rejecting a kiss from your man. Shock dumpies Helena and Carrington call in. Tap to hear all the villa goss from Helena and Carrington in the morning after. First look for the next episode. Public opinion sends the villa into chaos. They asked, you answered. The All-Stars dinner is about to serve up a whole load of beef. And then on the Love Island Instagram, Belle and Harrington ask, has the young bull finally been tamed? 22% said yes, 78% said no, and they also asked, is Scott here for genuine reasons? 59% said yes, 41% said no. Then Jessie and Tommy asked, are Tommy and Jessie well suited? 27% yes, 73% no. Jessie and Tommy also ask, is Scott holding back from making Leanne his girlfriend because he doesn't want to? 43% said yes, 57% said no. Leanne and Scott ask, will Scott DM Belle after a week? 25% said yes, 75% no. They also asked, was it too soon for Sean and Lucinda to make it official? 55% yes and 45% no. Lucinda and Sean ask, do you think we will get married? 25% yes, 75% no. They also ask, do you think Jessie is playing it safe with Tommy to get to the final? 83% said yes, 17% for no. Millie and Zach ask, does Zach like Millie as much as Millie likes Zach? Yes, 44% and no, 56%. Also, is Scott coming across as a game player? 47% yes and 53% no. Sammy and Kieran ask, have we been tested enough as a couple? 59% said yes, 41% said no. They also said, was Lucinda paying Sammy uncalled for? 63% yes and 37% no. Whitney and Yeaman ask, do you think our relationship will work long distance? 61% said yes and 39% said no. Do you think Scott's made the right decision choosing Leanne over Belle? 76% yes and 24% no. By the way, that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next one.